Hello, good evening. Uh, Welcome to the Honors Day, and I'm privileged as the member of the Governors Council to say a few words on behalf of the Fairview International School Kuala Lumpur Honors Day. I was told the theme for this year is Unity in Strength, and I think it's most appropriate during this pandemic time of COVID-19, where the whole community of Fairview showed unity in strength. I must congratulate all the teachers. We in the Board of Governors Council, we already initiated and gave the support for the school to embrace technology way back, way before the COVID-19 ever took place. And the teachers were already planning to introduce blended education and flipped classroom, and they were already preparing and all that. So when this pandemic happened, it became timely to implement what has been in the planning, and I'm very glad to hear that the teachers did very well. And I was told, and I've seen the reports, that we did not cut short in terms of delivery of our curriculum. The whole syllabus was completed within this semester. And in addition of completing the syllabus as per the requirement of the various criteria, they also had tutorial session for the students, and I was also told that they also have a hotline where students were able to ask questions. And parents, I'm sure you were there at home to see what's going on in the classroom, because it was done virtually, so you can actually see what's going on. And it is a lot of work on the teachers, in delivering an online lesson, but they did it diligently. I'm very proud of the teachers. I thank you all very much. And of course, I thank you parents for playing a supportive role at home, to ensure that the child came into the virtual classroom on time, just like a school timetable. Everything was normal, and they had a chance to interact with the students and all that. And I was told the various activities that was planned, like celebration of learning, the reading program, the maths mastery, was all done virtually beautifully. And I was told that the IGCSE, although the exam was cancelled, but the CIE, or the Cambridge International Examination Board, allowed us to submit predicted grade based on what we have done. And we have been doing it since quarter 3 and quarter 4 and quarter 2, 3 and 4, all the various mock exams told, and we have been constantly preparing the topical examinations. And these are all evidences to show Cambridge that our students are well prepared to get good high grades. And I'm sure all of you will be getting high grades. So please be proud of our teachers who have taken all this trouble to ensure that all the M5 students are getting the IGC certificate with good grades. Now, next year onwards, the present M4 students will be going to M5. We will not be having IGC exam. We will be looking into the IB MYP assessment, where personal project is one of the most important criteria, where the students will be able to do a project on their own initiative, looking at various ATS skills that they will be using. And I'm looking forward. The board, the Governors Council are looking forward to see the exhibition of your personal project in next year. So once again, on behalf of the Chairman and the Governors Council of Fairview International School, Kuala Lumpur, I wish you all a wonderful Honors Day. God bless. Thank you.
A warm welcome to our wisdom, the Board of Governors, our direction, the Board of Directors, our cheerleaders, the parents at Fairview, our teammates, our educators and administrators, and our passion, the learners at Fairview. Thank you for watching our Honors Day video. On behalf of all of the management at Fairview, I'd like to thank everyone for sacrificing their typical face-to-face Honors Day celebrations to preserve the safety and well-being of everyone in our community. We've all had to make our individual sacrifices, and I thank you for yours. It's been a challenging period for all of us. Teachers had to adapt to taking lessons online. Parents had to stretch the limits of their patience. and students had to learn in new formats. Thank you all for persisting with us throughout the MCO. We all make mistakes along the way, and I am so grateful to the many parents and students who approached our shortcomings with forgiveness and grace. At the time of this recording, we still have no confirmation about what's going to happen in August 2020. Rest assured, when school reopens, Fairview is prepared for both physical and online scenarios. Thankfully, because the normal academic pace was maintained, all our children will progress to the next academic year without disruption. As a teenager, there was a time when a group of friends of mine sat around and made paper stars for another friend who was sick. Many of us didn't know how to do it, so another friend taught us. As one of my friends did it, I saw she destroyed many of her imperfect stars. And then she started again. When I asked her why, she shared that it wasn't perfect, and she only wanted to make perfect stars. I, on the other hand, made my imperfect stars, and even though they weren't great when I started, as I continued, I think eventually my stars were pretty good. At the end of the hour, I realized I made about 100 stars, and she was still at number 10. In my experience, we often wait for the perfect circumstance to present itself before we move forward. During the good times, it isn't too difficult, but when the dark times arrive, like today, as we stare at a potential worldwide recession, this becomes more difficult. Perfection is the enemy of the good. While safety isn't something we should compromise, we can't all be in a bubble suit when we go out. Neither can we stay home forever. Many of us look to the vaccine as a panacea. But the reality is that this is a virus, and the virus can mutate away from the vaccine, rendering it less effective. A new pandemic may arise, another wave may come. If we waited for the perfect solution to restart our lives again, we could potentially end up in lockdown for the rest of it. Many individuals during the crisis have offered innovative solutions to our daily challenges. More meat and fish is now being sold directly to homes. Cashless systems are now commonplace at almost every retail outlet. And schools who refuse to be beaten by the virus have taken their lessons online. Every creative solution has its challenges. Every one of them has a weakness. And every time a new solution is brought forward, someone will cast doubt about its ability to succeed. But in time, just like the television and the radio, those that persist through the difficult times, pivot and adapt to the challenges they face, will succeed. Perhaps the most important part of this story is what is our personal role, our response to challenges. Do we, like my friend, settle for perfection and be paralyzed in the process? Do we hear brave individuals with their flawed attempts and ridicule or belittle them? Or do we approach the situation with supportive demeanor, open-mindedness, and hope? The only ones who can truly say what we should or should not do in this pandemic are the medical professionals. Beyond their absolute guidelines about health protocols, distancing, or travel, I encourage everyone to keep moving forward. Know your risks, what you can or cannot do, but keep moving forward. I recently had the unpleasant opportunity to witness one man shout at 3 frightened women. They had a difference in opinion about a certain matter, but he chose to insist that others must think like him and do as he says. He chose to emotionally embarrass them and intimidate them into submission to get what he wanted. In the end, I found out he had faced financial challenges and was incredibly fearful about his future. that this story describes a familiar emotion in all of us. Many of us during these times feel insecure regarding the future and resort to survivalist tendencies, looking out for only me, myself, and I. Across the world, we see this in the form of riots, bigotry, intolerance, and plain old mean words. The question stands then, as an IB community, as a community that chose a different route, what will you do? As a community that is aware of the dangers of repeating our past prejudices, misconceptions, and habits. A community that is committed to prepare our young souls for a new, brighter future, one unshackled from our past. A community that believes that success built on the dead bodies of the inconvenient is no success at all. What will you do? There is no need to look far. We're spending an incredible amount of time at home after all. Practice small, regular acts of caring, kindness with your loved ones. Remind everyone we are better working together, not against each other. Be open-minded to new possibilities, and always remember that the phrase, "let's not reinvent the wheel," is a terrible one. The wheel had to be reinvented hundreds of times over the years to get to where we are today. The world does not need more cynics, suspicion, or unkind words. It needs care, a sincere desire to work together, and open-mindedness. Oh, and your children already learn these as the learner profile attributes of caring, collaboration, and open-mindedness in their classes. Unfortunately, it's bad news all around. HSBC plans to retrench about 35,000 staff worldwide. The UK economy in April shrank by about 20% in April, and the OECD forecast for 2020 is a negative 6% contraction in the global economy. As businesses face the heat, they are going to really rethink who they want working for them. The fastest people to be shown the door will be those that perform repetitive tasks, those who can't work without repeated instructions, and those who compete instead of collaborating, and those who are not creative or adaptable. These will not be your children. You made the right choice to prepare your children for a future, not an exam. And it's become very obvious now. While other children are being prepared to mindlessly sit examinations and memorize mountains of facts, your children are considering solutions to problems, examining possibilities, collaborating with each other, and presenting their thoughts, preparing to adapt and pivot them later. When other children enter the workforce, the first thing they ask is, what am I supposed to do? Every step of the way. Your children will ask, how will they contribute? And they will suggest new ways of working as well. Every parent at Fairview thought deeply about their children's future and took a gamble by not jumping onto the traditional education bandwagon. That there was a better way, that a progressive IB education is the right path. Congratulations, you are all winners. So in summary, 1. Be reassured and celebrate your decision to educate your children for a future, not an exam. Your children look to you as a role model of one that takes action not because it's easy or convenient, but because it was the right decision for their future. 2. When everyone else is being all cynical and looking out for themselves, bring a little kindness to the table and show them through your actions how we are better working together, not against each other. And finally, keep moving forward and let hope, not fear, be your guide. Stay safe and healthy, ever onwards.
Hi Evan, what are you doing
Hi.
here all by
Cyn-
yourself?
Hello, Cynthia. I'm actually preparing for my Honors Day speech.
Ah.
Yeah, this year is a bit different because last year I still remember I was standing here giving a speech.
Yes,
But
yes.
this year, because of pandemic, we are not allowed to do that. So
Too
I'm
bad.
trying to recall and reflect myself what I have done with the students as well as the teachers. Do you have a better idea?
That is a good idea. However, I think a better idea would be let's go to the MYP classrooms
yeah.
and recall there
Yes.
all the experiences that we've had with our students.
Good. That is a good idea.
So, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Hi, Siti.
Hi, Miss Evan.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking at the photos from the magazine. So thinking about this Honors Day and can't get any school photos for the students. I just miss them, especially my M1 kids.
Yeah, I also
That's
miss
true.
them. Yeah, look at their work. Yeah, I think you're the best person for me to ask for a favor.
What can I help?
I'm actually preparing a speech for Honors Day. So Cynthia gave an idea to visit the classes to see what the students have achieved. So can you help me on that?
They achieved a lot this year. Let's take a look.
Hello.
I'm waking up at the start of the end of the world, but it's feeling just like every other morning before. Now I wonder what my life is gonna mean if it's gone. The cars are moving like a half a mile an hour, and I started staring at the passengers and waving goodbye. Can you tell me what was ever really special about me all this time? But I believe the world is burning to the ground. Oh well, I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how far we've come. Well, I believe it all is coming to an end. Oh well, I guess we're gonna pretend. Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how far we've come. I think it turned 10 o'clock, but I don't really know. And I can't remember caring for an hour or so. Started crying and I couldn't stop myself. I started running, but there's nowhere to run to. I sat down on the street, took a look at myself. Said, where you going, man? You know the world is headed for hell. Say your goodbyes if you got someone you can say goodbye to. I believe the world is burning to the ground. Oh well, I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see how far we've come right now. Let's see how far we've come. I believe it all is coming to an end. Oh well, I guess we're gonna pretend. Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how far we've come. It's gone, baby, it's all gone. There's no one in the corner and there's no one at home. Well, it was cool, it was just all cool. Now it's over for me and it's over for you. Well, it's gone, baby, it's all gone. There's no one on the corner and there's no one at home. Well, it was cool, it was just all cool. Now it's over for me and it's over for you. Let's see how far we've come.
Then,
Here you are. These are some of the activities that your child have been through with us as a family. So I would like to say a big thank you to parents and students. Without your support, I don't think I can achieve so much. So stay safe, stay strong, stay happy, and I'll see you again in the new academic year. Bye-bye.
Good day to our principal, Dr. Vincent, Deputy Principal, Ms. Anne, coordinators, teachers, and friends. I'm Anuf Rahman, the Student Council President for the academic year 2019-2020.
I'm Jason Lee Sung-Jun, the Vice President of this year's Student Council.
Accomplishment will prove to be a journey, not a destination. This famous quote by former US President Dwight Eisenhower is the perfect representation of our experience leading this year's Student Council. We were elected exactly 12 months ago, and what followed has been a challenging yet beautiful journey where we attempted to redefine what the Student Council means, not just to the students, but to the entire school. When this year started, Jason and I decided on the themes of gratitude, culture, student life, and global issues to guide us towards deciding which events we shall arrange. Throughout this academic year, we aim to maximize our involvement, and together we would like to share some of our greatest memories from this year.
Firstly, the theme of gratitude was selected as we believed that cultivating the habit of being grateful was vital in terms of developing a successful yet modest individual. Coincidentally, the people who provide us with most are usually the closest to us, and they are of course our parents and our teachers. One thing for sure, the COVID-19 lockdown was not enough to stop us from delivering these values to the student body. We recently conducted both Teachers' Day and Mother's Day through numerous online activities, the most noteworthy being the Mother's Day video and the digital appreciation notes and certificates sent to each and every one of our dearest teachers.
Moving on, the theme of culture was significant because in an incredibly diverse school like Fairview, we needed more events to celebrate our different cultures. Just recently, we conducted the Buka Puasa event, where we joined our Muslim friends to break fast during the month of Ramadan over Zoom. This is usually an intimate meal with family, but to share this experience with our peers from M1 to DP from all campuses of Fairview was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Similarly, we also arranged a Malaysia Day event back in September 2019. On this special day, we enlightened our peers about all the 14 states of Malaysia during a special assembly. We paraded the flags of every state, wore their traditional costumes, and learned more about each state, like their cuisine, customs, and traditions.
We also made sure to improve the school life of our student body by planning and livening up the weekly Monday assemblies and by providing them with some entertainment through the annual Christmas ball event. One aspect which I'm really proud of our community is the fact that we didn't stay local with our events. As much as our school emphasized on the importance of becoming a global citizen, we eyed closely on our opportunities to take advantage of the technology at hand to reach out to the people outside of Malaysia. For instance, in the first stage of the COVID-19 pandemic, we strived hard to show our support to the city of Wuhan, China, as soon as it was announced that they were going into lockdown procedures. We involved all of our students and teachers to send them a video message of encouragement as we all cheered, 加油武汉! 加油武汉! To our surprise, that video reached a total of 300,000 views in a matter of 20 hours in the Chinese social media Weibo.
Furthermore, we also arranged a fundraising event where we raised 1,600 ringgit. This money was donated to the containing measures for the bushfires that devastated Australia earlier this year. However, that's not all. We conducted many more activities for our student body, which we would like to present through this short montage. I remember when I ran for president, I assured myself that it would be a relatively relaxing job, and I've never been more wrong in my life. We are currently IBDP students, which is an extremely rigorous curriculum on itself, and to manage student council as well truly pushed us to our limits. But this journey would not have been possible without many special people. Thank you to Ms. Radhika and Dr. Amelia for being the best advisors we could have asked for and always responding to our messages, no matter how late in night they were. Thank you to my fellow student council members, especially the executive committee. No matter how much homework Jason and I assigned you, none of you ever failed to impress us, and I'm certain that the future of the student council is in the right hands. Thank you to my parents as well for always motivating me and pitching in with ideas to improve my leadership. And of course, how could I have done all this without the support of such a kind and compassionate partner like Jason? This was truly a team effort, and I will always be grateful for having the best team with me.
It was indeed an extraordinary year for all of us in the SC. To all of you, our beloved student council members, throughout the year you've amazed me with your passion, surprised me with your dedication, and by the time I saw the outcome, it was all hands down to you. No matter how challenging our tasks were at times, we managed to pull it through. What we have achieved today wouldn't have been what it is without your talent, your commitment, and our unity as one. And so today, our main objective is not to mark our departure as the Student Council Presidents, but to celebrate what is more prominent, and that is the monumental effort that all of us pitched in to make this community special. And for that, I thank you. I would like to extend my thanks to Ms. Radhika and Ms. Amelia for being the best advisors we could ever ask for. Not to mention all those who have supported us externally, Ms. Akila, Ms. Ann, and Dr. Vincent. Thank you so much. Last but not least, my partner, Anna Raman. We've gone through so much of the stressful times together, and we grew bonds that we never expected to develop in the past. Of all, you deserve the highest praise. Now, I'm officially signing off as the Student Council Vice President of the academic year 2019-2020. It was truly an honor to serve you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. After an exhilarating year, it is time for us to pass on our batons to the next presidents. From Q3 onward, we conducted interviews and leadership challenges to identify and train our next leaders. And it is my great honor to present the Student Council President for 2020-2021, Giselle Tang. She will be supported by the Senior Vice President, Lian Edward Nelson, alongside the two Junior Vice Presidents, Leroy Darrell Joseph and Ishita Chaudhary. We have seen all four of them grow tremendously throughout this year, and we have full faith that they can take Student Council to the next level. Jason and I will continue to serve the Student Council as advisors for the upcoming year to ensure the next leadership group is well equipped to continue the work we have started. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of Student Council this year. It will always be one of my life's greatest honors to have served as your president. Thank you.
Vincent, Miss Evan, students who are finishing this academic year, teachers, and parents. My name is Isabel, and I will be representing the class of M3G for the year 2019/2020. I would like to thank not only the teachers and classmates who have wholeheartedly been supporting and pushing me to my limits, but also to the smaller groups and administrations in the school, like the library, who made sure that the computers are up and running for my last-minute printing, and the science lab assistants for making sure I don't burn my hand off. I thank the school for being here throughout this year and ensuring that students especially feel safe and have a happy and positive environment to learn, socialize, and to develop key essential skills that are good for learning habits. My words of encouragement for next year's M3 students would be to make sure that you can have as much fun as you can, but do not be fooled, as this year is critical if you want to ensure good marks in order for you to have the freedom to choose your subject choices for an M4. All I can say is next year will definitely be a ride for you all, and I hope that you can take this as an opportunity to learn and better yourself for the future.
Dr. Vincent, Miss Anne, and Miss Evan. I'm Xavier, and I'm representing M3R to give this speech. Thank you, teachers, for helping us during this MCO period with online classes and making sure that we understand what tasks that have to be done. For this quarter, it's harder for teachers to teach because of this MCO period and we are learning online. We probably had some students that don't cooperate during the classes. We also understand that it's harder to teach us during this period. And we appreciate what teachers have done for us for this whole quarter, and we can't wait to go back to school. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sun Shen and I'm from M3B. So during these virtual online classes, I want to say thank you to Miss Amelia because she tried to help us score high marks and she will explain why we don't understand the question or when we get lost. Actually, I found out that these virtual online classes are quite fun and interesting. So the most memorable moment that I found out is I need to do some exercise in front of my gadget during PE class. So lastly, I had created a poster. It's about frontliners. I hope this poster can spread the positivity to everyone in this difficult time. Thank you.
you.